Good morning, boys and girls. I'm Mrs. Hallberg. So nice to be with you today for our virtual Sunday school. We are talking about Joseph again this morning, our third and last time. So remember that God was using Joseph in a special way. He was very young when God decided what his plan was for Joseph. So if you want to look with me in your Bible book today, we're at the beginning of the Bible in Genesis, and we're on chapters 42 to 46. Now that's a long way, isn't it? A lot of chapters in our Bible. So if you want to follow along, that would be great. We're talking about how God helps us forgive, and we're talking about that that Joseph does forgive his brothers, and that's what we're learning about today. And then our Bible verse that we have, it's the same one, and we find it in our Psalm 33:20, and God is our help and our shield, and that's Psalm 33:20. So remember, that means that God will help us to do our best, and he'll protect us and care for us, just like he protected and cared for Joseph. Let's review a little bit from last week. Do you remember that Joseph had been put in prison, and then he knew how to interpret dreams because God was helping him? So here he is, and he's talking to the Pharaoh. Remember, the Pharaoh is another name for king, and they're in Egypt. And the dream was about the skinny cows and the fat cows, and the wheat that was falling over and the wheat that was good and strong. And when Joseph interpreted those, remember that he said what they meant was going to be 7 good years of crops and then 7 bad years, not enough food. So that was called a famine. So the Pharaoh had told Joseph that he was so smart and that God was with him, and so he was going to be in charge of everything. So here he is, he's running in his chariot, and he's giving orders to all the people over here, and he's telling them, store the grain, grow more food, save it, prepare it, and keep it, because we're going to need it. 7 years. He was like second in command of Egypt. So God was really using Joseph to tell how things were going. So another picture that I have right here shows how they're putting the grain into the bags. Remember, they didn't have boxes and things like that back then. So grain would be used to make like any kind of breads or pasta or tacos and things that you make that's more like a bread consistency, and that's what they use the grains for. So that's something that would store, that would keep over time. Of course, things like apples or meat wouldn't keep, but this is the main consistency that they were looking for. So this is what he was doing. He was put in charge of all that, and God was happy with them, and he thought that things were going very well, and he was really proud of Joseph and the way that Joseph had been taking care of them. Well, back in Canaan, where Joseph and his brothers had lived originally with Jacob, then they were not as lucky because they didn't have any food. So they traveled a long way when their grain ran out. Here's Jacob, and he's starving, and his family is starving. He has lots of people to feed. And so he decided that they would go to Egypt. So they went to Egypt. And when Joseph heard that a family was coming to Egypt from Canaan, he thought, oh, I wonder if they know anything, about my father. And so the brothers came, and remember, there were like 12 of them. There was a whole lot. And they had come to Egypt, and they went to see Joseph. He had called for them. And he said, we are starving, and we'd love to buy some food. And Joseph said, well, tell me about yourself. And he said, well, we have a family, and Jacob is our father. And he told them that there was a little brother, and the little brother's name was Benjamin. So he says, are these all the brothers and sisters that you have? And he said, no, we have one brother, Joseph, but he is lost. Well, that made Joseph very mad, because of course he was not lost. They had sold him into slavery, so he was upset about that. And he said, well, if you bring me your little brother Benjamin, then I will know that you're not spies, and that you really are truthful in fact that you want to buy food and see them. So away they went, and they went all the way back to Canaan to get their little brother. Well, Jacob, you can imagine, was very upset about that. Oh, and they had to keep Simeon there in jail while they were traveling back. So here's Jacob. He's like, no, don't take Benjamin. I've already lost Joseph. I don't want you to take Benjamin. He said, Father, if we don't take him back, then Joseph, the head of the Egypt, is not going to let us get the food. Because remember, they didn't know that was Joseph. Joseph knew that it was his brothers, but his brothers didn't know that it was Joseph at this point in the story. So here's little Benjamin. He's so innocent. There's the dad, and he said, I'm just going to die if anything happens to him, so please be careful. So off they went. They went back to Egypt, and they said, here is our littlest brother, Benjamin. Please be careful with him, because our father will just die if anything happens to him, because Joseph was already lost. And so then he believed him, and he let Simeon out of prison. They were kind of just holding him a little bit of a hostage. And he said, go and get your father and come back and live with us. So they had a great feast, and they were feeding him and everything was going well. And then the servant, Joseph, whispered something over to the servant, and he said, I want you to take one of my silver goblets, and I want you to stick it in Benjamin's back of grain. And I want to see how much the brothers care for their family now, because they certainly didn't care for me before. So they did. They start out on their journey, and the servant comes and says, stop, somebody has stolen my master's silver goblet. Well, we didn't take it. We bought the grain. We didn't take it. So they start looking in the grain packs all the way from the oldest down to the youngest. And where do you think they found it? They found it in Benjamin's. And he said, here is the silver goblet, and you will become a servant. And the brothers were, no, you can't keep him and make him a servant. Our father will just die if anything happens to him. So they went and they told who is Joseph, but they don't know that. They're like, please, don't let anything happen to Benjamin. We've already lost one brother. Please don't let anything happen. And he said, okay, I want to tell you, all of my regular servants in here, go out of the room. I need to talk to these people. So, well, the brothers were really scared because they thought they were going to arrest all of them. And he said, I am your long-lost brother. I am Joseph. And they were humble and they bowed down before him. Do you remember that from the very first dream? That the brothers would bow to him? And they bowed down, and Joseph wept. He was so glad to see his family again, and he knew that if they wouldn't let Benjamin stay as a servant, that they had learned a lesson and they were truthful now. So he told them to go get the dad and bring them back, all of their families. So you can imagine how many people that was. It was 12 brothers, but they had wives and they had children and they had their animals. He said, bring everything back to us and live in Egypt with me, and we'll all live together again. So Joseph was showing his forgiveness, and God was helping him do that. That was tough because Joseph had been, treated badly, and they were really worried about it, that when they found out that it was really Joseph. But our point is that God helps us forgive. And forgiveness means that you are telling the person that you still love them no matter what, and that you care for them no matter what. So that's our story then, and you can see here's another picture of Joseph here with his brothers and holding on to them, and he's so very happy that he had them. Well, let's see what Pockets is doing today. Pockets, what do you have? A ball. Oh, that looks like fun. What kind of ball is this? Well, it's something you play with. It's like a football, but it flies in the air. Oh, well, that's nice. Can I see it? No! Oh, Pockets, you're not going to even let me look at it? No. Oh, why not? Well, I don't want to share. Oh, dear. Well, we're learning about sharing, and we're learning about forgiveness. What has happened today? Well, Seer, I got a new bike. Okay, so lots of people get new bikes. Yeah, but she won't let me ride it. Oh, did she get it for her birthday? Yes, she did. And she wouldn't let you ride it yesterday? No. So I'm not going to let her Play with my ball. Well, I'm thinking that playing with a ball is not much fun by yourself, especially this kind, because you can't even bounce it and catch it. Well, you're right. So do you kind of need Sarah? Yes, I do. So maybe if you shared with Sarah, then it would be more fun? Yeah, it would. But she was mean. Well, honey, it was her birthday and a new bike, and she probably was excited about it. You know, I bet if you ask in a couple of weeks, then she would let you use it then. Oh, so you don't want to be mean back? No. Do you know what word I'm looking for? I need to forgive her. That's right, you need to forgive her. It's not always easy. You can pray to God and see if He can help you learn how to forgive. Okay. But what it really means is that you're not mad at Sarah. You understand why she wouldn't share that particular day. And that, I know, I gotta share. That's right, you're gonna share your ball. But I guarantee you you're gonna have more fun because, I mean, it's very pretty, but it doesn't bounce. Yeah, you're right. Okay, I'll go. I'll tell her. Okay. Do you want to stay for the rhyme first? Yes. Can you put this down? It's too hard. Okay, I'll put it down over here. Well, you want to stay for the rhyme though, right? Yes, I do. Okay, let's do our rhyme today because remember we're talking about Joseph and we're talking about forgiveness, right? About his family? Yes, I got it. Okay, so here's our little rhyme. I can depend on the Lord to save me. Only He is the one who will protect me. Like a shield I cannot see, He is watching over me. Every moment of the day, He keeps me safe. Yeah, that's good. God keeps me safe. That's right. And He helps you learn how to forgive other people. It's a hard one, isn't it? Yes, it is. Okay, do you want to do a prayer? Yes, I do. Okay, you ready? Close your eyes. Oh, fold your hands. Bow your head. Okay, we're ready. Okay, good. We'll snuggle in then. Okay, dear God, help us forgive other people. And please be with our families. It's hard for us to learn how to forgive, and we want to help. So help us, God, to do that this week. In Jesus' name, amen. Well, that's great. Thank you so much, Pockets, for coming today to Sunday school. Can I say bye? Sure you can. All right, you want to say bye to the boys and girls? Yes, I do. Okay. Bye. See you later. Don't forget your blessings.